That's what he does when my mom walks away. Hey guys, I'm Deanna and welcome to Move Coalition. Today I'm going to be bringing you through a 10 to 15 minute full body stretch. And with that said, we'll get started. So we're going to start here just at the back, if you're on a mat, at the back of your mat. Feet hip width apart. So hip width is right underneath your hips. You don't have to go too wide. Unless you find yourself a little bit tighter in your hips and your hamstrings, you can give yourself more space. So we're gonna take a deep breath in, reach up and look up. Just a nice big stretch through your fingers, through the chest. As you exhale, we're gonna swan dive all the way down. So if you know you're tight in your hamstrings, you keep a little baby bend in your knees, take your time, fold and hang. So if you can touch the floor, awesome. If you can't, you're just gonna soften your knees to that point where you can really let your head and neck relax. So you can feel that nice decompression and cervical spine. Just give your head a little shake yes, a little shake no. And when we're stretching, the breath is really, really important. So you wanna make sure full inhales in through your nose, big exhales out of your nose. Bend your knees, keep your head and your hands heavy and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Just taking your time, feel each vertebrae stack. When you come up to the top, shoulders up, back, and down. So nice big shoulder loop, and we'll do that just a couple more times. Inhale to reach up and look up. Exhale to swan dive. So even if you can keep those legs straight, I want you to keep a micro bend so you stay connected to your muscle rather than relying on your joint. Just a little hang here. If you want to go deeper into a back stretch, you grab behind your head like when you do a sit-up. Slightly tuck the chin to the chest, and you can always soften the knees a little more if you need to, or take your feet a little bit wider if you need to. Head and hands stay heavy. We slowly roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Again, when we get up to the top, shoulders up, back and down. Last one. Deep breath in, reach in, look up. Exhale to fold. Maybe this time you interlace your hands behind your back. Little shoulder stretch. So it's another nice variation you can do. If you're not interested, you just grab opposite elbows and hang. So this one, just a little sway side to side, bending one knee, straightening the other. You'll drop your left hand down to the floor, bend your left knee. If this is still too much of a hamstring stretch, if you have a block or something like a water bottle that you can use, you can grab that, or you can press halfway lift to your shin. Opening up, looking up towards your right thumb. You feel a nice stretch in the back of the right hamstring. And then switch. Right hand comes down to the floor, to a block, a water bottle, or a shin. And again, making sure if you can lock into that joint, don't let it happen, little baby bend. Take a deep breath in, really open, expand, look up. Both hands come down to the mat. Look forward, start to walk yourself out to a downward facing dog. So down dog is like an upside down V, and I like you to take up a good amount of space, so not too short. The more space you have, the better. And just starting to really link your movement with your breath. So as you inhale, you come high to the tiptoes. As you exhale, you melt a heel down. And getting into hamstrings, your calves. A few breaths here. Inhale, high to tiptoes. Exhale to melt a heel. So even this will start to stretch out your low back. If you feel like you're really tight in your low back, it's gonna feel like you're gonna wanna do this. If you feel like you're rounding out through your low back, you're gonna lift high to the toes, roll your sit bones higher, soften your knees, so you get a little more space and lengthen the spine. Relax your neck. And we'll drop down to the floor, tabletop. Look forward, lean forward, we'll come all the way down to the ground. And just a little shoulder stretch. So you'll take your left arm out beside you, and you're gonna roll over, right toes to the ground behind you. I'm just gonna touch the grass, you guys will be on the floor. Making sure there's no weird angles with this left arm. Wrist and shoulder, one line. If you like, that right hand can come up, or you can take it to the right side rib cage. Using your inhale to expand your chest forward, and the exhale to encourage shoulder blades together, collarbones wide. And we'll switch. Come back through center. Right arm out, left hand in. We roll open to the right. If you really want to get into it and bring it a little more into low back, you can bring both feet flat or just one. So remember, hand is on the floor to the sky or giving into gravity. Inhale to expand the chest. Exhale to soften shoulder blades. Slowly come back to your belly. Hands underneath your shoulders, press through tabletop and we go back to child's pose. So big toes touch, knees wide, hips to heels. So again, if you're really tight in the shoulders, you take up some more space, always looking to externally wrap your elbows down. Hips pull back, shoulder blades draw back, and your fingers are always trying to kind of escape forward. You'll take an inhale, big breath out, press down through every finger, your elbows if you can, and pulling back through space. Inhale between the shoulder blades to expand. Exhale to press elbows down and draw back. From here, you'll take your hands over to the right side of the mat and you walk your left fingertips as far away from you as you can. So you have a nice long line between left middle finger and left hip. Send your inhale to the left side rib cage. Open, expand, create some space. As you exhale, hands stay glued where they are and you pull your ribs towards the left side. So this is getting into your intercostal muscles, muscles that run over the rib cage, the left shoulder. Each round of breath, you can deepen it a little bit more. Inhale to expand. Exhale to soften in. And then switch. Walk over to the left. Right fingertips reach a little bit further forward. Send the inhale to the right side to open and expand. The exhale to soften the rib cage. So when you press to the right, you're thinking about squeezing left shoulder and left hip a little closer. Right shoulder rolls down and away from your ear. Just keep checking in with these like little details. Slowly come into center. And then we'll move up through tabletop. Tuck your toes, we're going back to downward facing dog. Again, you can pedal it out, feel it out. Notice the difference between now and the first time that we were here. You'll lift high to your tiptoes, breathe in. We're gonna get into the side of the torso a little deeper. So this time you're dropping both heels over to the right, you soften your knees, you press your chest back to your thighs, and again, you're encouraging that nice opening through the left side torso. Right shoulder and right hip squeeze. High to tiptoes, heels to the left, bend the knees, round and open through your right side. And you can like even lift that right hand, feel around here. We're all built a little differently, so we'll all have to take it on a little differently. You move slow so you can look for those sweet spots, linger and create space where you need to. From here, we're going to take the right leg to the sky. You don't have to take it too high. Squeeze that knee to chest. You can either step it through or you just grab and pull it the rest of the way. Drop your back knee, shift your weight back and flex, little half split. So a lot of the time when I'm teaching my classes, I'll see people like really try to get that straight leg lock, but then they're rounded through the low back and the spine. So I always prefer a bend in the knee so that you can connect the chest, work on rolling your tailbone up, your sit bones up, and then working into a straight leg from there. So I like to floss, I call this flossing. Just moving forward and back, just gently feeling out the muscle, using your breath. And then my personal favorite, you drop your toes open to the right, shift your hips to the left, and that'll take you out of hamstring and more into IT band, outer right hip. And always thinking about pressing that heel down and pulling it back, creating a little resistance. Again, looking around, feeling around, looking for the sweet spots, creating space where you need to. We'll take it back forward into the right knee. Just make sure when you move forward, knee is right on top of ankle and knee is slightly behind your hip. So knee is not in front of the ankle. Give yourself some room. As you inhale, we'll lift both hands up to the sky. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Use the inhale to lift up and out of the torso. And then leaning over to the right. So this is left side hip flexor. The more you lean back, the deeper you're gonna get. Again, deep breath into the left side. Exhale, just a little more to the right. We come back up. Left hand down to the floor, pick up your back knee, and we'll take a little twist. If you like, you could keep the back knee down to the ground, making sure you're not letting that knee fly away from you. You want to hug it in towards your midline. Inhale to expand, exhale to twist. And if you do really want to get into that hip, you can roll open to feet edges, making sure that you keep that bottom leg nice and strong. Slowly come back through center, step back, down dog, pedaling it out. Other leg, left leg goes up, deep breath in. Hug your knee to your chest, step it through or grab and pull it to the top of the mat. You drop your back knee, shift your weight back and flex. So softening in, a little micro bend in that knee, maybe rolling the toes open. If you can't get your hands to the floor, another nice place to add a little bit of height. And remember, you don't want to kill it when you're stretching. You don't want to force. You really have to allow your body to open gradually. It's a lot more about patience than pushing. It's tedious work. Slowly come in, you'll bend into that left knee. Both hands up to the sky. Again, check your alignment. Back knee slightly behind the hip, front knee right over top of your ankle. Inhale, we go up and over, nice stretch. So try not to collapse through that side. You're really lengthening up and over. Anytime you're holding a posture, you think like 3 to 5 breaths. How long you're staying there. Pick up your back knee, we twist. Inhale to lengthen through your spine. Exhale to rotate. Maybe you roll to feet edges. And if you do that, you can walk your right hand a little further forward so it's not so jammy in your wrist. The higher the hip, the less intense, the closer that right hip gets to the floor, the deeper it is. From here, we come back. We step back to down dog. Move forward, high plank. You can take a little push up all the way down. Untuck the toes, hands nice and wide. Forehead to floor, feet wide. So as you inhale, press into your hands, squeeze your shoulder blades together and slowly start to lift your chest up. Head will lift very last. So when we're pressing here, try not to let the shoulders go up to your ears, press them down and away. Heel of the hand pulls back towards your hips so you can really open your chest, slingshot your chest forward. Deep breath in and release, one vertebrae at a time. 2 more times, inhale, roll up. Exhale, release. Taking your time, move slow. Inhale to roll. And release. Hands underneath your shoulders. We'll press back through tabletop and to child's pose, hips to heels. From here, roll up to seated. So you're still in that child's pose position, knees wide, toes touch. 2 options. You can either face your fingertips away from you, or you can bring your fists to the soles of your feet. And we're just gonna start to lift and press up. So shoulder blades wrapped together around your spine. You can keep your eyes forward or up or back. It's up to you. I like mine forward. Using the inhale to open the chest, sending the hips forward. So stretch, opening through the front body, your hip flexors. Take 1 more deep breath in. Big breath out. Come back to seated. And just relax, palm face up on your knees. Just take a second to check in. Just notice how your body feels after that stretch. And that is a nice little 10-ish minute full body. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. If you guys have any questions about the routine we just did, drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. See you later.